Another book that I wrote thousands and thousands of books. Love writing. As an actress, I also write. Most actors do write also. Not all, but some. Another book I wrote was Over the Colorful Rainbow. Well, it's about this leprechaun named Lucky O'Malley who lives in Ireland, obviously, and he always dreamed of the pot of gold on the other side of the rainbow. Well, one day there was a fierce storm, and I'm going to show you some beautiful photos of basically looks like. This is so beautiful and breathtaking. He had to get to one point of the rainbow to the other point of the rainbow, and it's not always so easy to do that. And this is what it looks like over the rainbow where he ended up. Keep in mind, I palm trees, obviously, but over the rainbow where he ended up was probably most likely not, no, it was not Ireland anymore. So anyway, he was determined, Lucky O'Malley, after he had his corned beef sandwich, he said, I'm going to go over the rainbow, and I'm going to get that pot of gold. Well, it wasn't so easy. He had to wait for that storm to come along. He had to wait for that colorful rainbow, which is a magical rainbow. And he got to the one end of the rainbow, and he had to literally try to get inside the rainbow. Well, it wasn't so easy, but finally he was able to manage to get inside the rainbow. Keep this in mind, it was kind of chilly and damp in Ireland. So he got into the rainbow, and he kept walking and walking, and he had a little bit of nervous of height. So he finally got to the halfway point of the rainbow, and it started warming up the temperature. And then all of a sudden, he got to the other side of the rainbow. It was a beautiful paradise, warm, sunny. And it was so beautiful, and he found a great big pot of gold, coins, gold, everything. And he was such a happy leprechaun that he said he was going to probably stay over the rainbow for the rest of his natural life because he's Lucky O'Malley. But then all of a sudden, he grabbed the pot of gold. He took a couple gold pieces in his hand, put it in his little pocket. He wore green all the time. Put it in his pocket. All of a sudden, the rainbow started dissipating. As you know, rainbows disappear. And he found himself back in Ireland. He had a few pieces of gold with him, and he was such a happy leprechaun. And he ran and told all his leprechaun friends. He was jumping over all those four-leaf clovers. This book I decided to write about St. Patty's Day. I'm just letting you know. From Deborah Wright, have a great day.